So guys, a quick update. This happened. Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of Living with a Mazda MX-5. So today I'm at Snetterton because I'm here doing a track day with Mad Max. Here he is, down here. Oh, hand-eye coordination is brilliant, Aaron. There we go. And I used to be a goalkeeper. You'd never know it, would you? So yes, I'm here at a very damp and wet Snetterton because I'm taking part with a track day. So I've done a few track days, but believe it or not, this will be my very first track day in a Mazda MX-5, so I'm really excited. The conditions could be better, particularly as my MX-5 has got a welded diff, so it could be a little bit interesting, but hopefully there'll be no major mishaps, so fingers crossed. Not only am I here with Mad Max and my good wife Patsy, but I'm also here with Pocket Rockets. Oh sorry, I didn't know you were going to wave. I'm also here with a good friend of the channel, Pocket Rockets. Don't know where he's disappeared to, but we have Mr. Miyagi. He's EP3 Type R, ready to rock and roll. Look at that, just ticking over nicely. So guys, if you don't follow him already, that is his Instagram handle at Pocket Rockets UK. Please give him a follow. As you can see, his car is very track orientated. Very stripped out, more stripped out than Mad Max. And yeah, this car really is a weapon. So I know what this car can do on track, but it'll be interesting to see what the MX-5 can do on track. Hopefully I'm not in anyone's way. But let me come around this way. So we've got a garage for today. We are garage number 5. We're going to grab some breakfast in a bit. We need to do the sound testing as well, which could be a little bit interesting. Now, for those of you that follow me on social media, you'll know that recently I went to Brands Hatch to have my MX-5 sound tested because his exhaust is rather loud. It is a Powerflow exhaust, and a static test, I got a reading of 97 decibels, which is fine. That gives me a little bit of room for a little margin of error, so to speak. But the concern may be the drive-by noise. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah. Anyway, before I babble on too much, because I'm sure you want to see the car actually going on track, I'm going to grab some breakfast and catch up with you in a bit. Now, just a quick one before I do go. I'm not too sure what kind of footage I'll be able to get today, so hopefully I can get some decent footage for you, so we'll have to wait and see. Right, enough talking, let's do some driving. Due to the greasy conditions, my first outing on the track was tentative to say the least, and it took me quite some time to do just one lap, which is why I've had to speed this footage up. Quite a bit I've had to speed up, if I'm going to be honest. Unfortunately, before I could start to get into any rhythm, the red flag was waved, which pretty much set the theme for the morning. After having a quick catch up with Pocket Rockets, I headed back out onto the slippery Snetterton tarmac once more. The conditions did slowly start to improve, but once again the red flag was shown, forcing everybody back into the pits. A welded diff is great for drifting as the car requires less effort to go sideways, but that's not so great on the slippery racetrack as the next two clips demonstrate, both of which are at the same corner, Wilson. Needless to say, I'm going to look into buying a limited slip diff for track use. So I have finally had some decent track time. The reason why I say finally is because there have been a lot of red flags today. In fact, I've seen more red flags than a Matador because we've had a few people go off, some fluid was dropped, so there was quite a large gap, so the fluid could be cleared up. But yes, it has been great fun learning the track and learning the car, of course. It is still quite slippery out there. There has been a little bit of drizzle and it has been quite greasy. Certain parts of the track have been quite nasty, in all honesty, so I have been quite tentative, as you may have seen in the footage that I would have put from my GoPro. Sadly, my GoPro ran out of battery before I overtook an S2000, so I was quite proud of that. I overtook a Honda S2000. Go on, Mad Max. Alex from Peak Performance Reviews popped his head in to say hello, and he left some very useful parting advice. Cheers, Alex. With his wise words ringing in my ears, I ventured onto the tarmac once more. At this point, the track was drying up nicely, meaning I could push the car a little bit harder and go a little bit faster. Given the fact I had more breathing space on the track, I found it easier to get into the groove and to find better lines through the corners, although I was still a long way from mastery. So guys, a quick update. This happened. So I think there are two separate problems here, or there may be one problem that has, that has thrown two symptoms, I don't know. But the first problem is the coolant the coolant tank kind of wet itself. So the car overheated, and then basically loads of coolant just poured out. So it was, the tank was pretty much full and it was bubbling away. At the moment it's kind of just sitting above the low level, although there was a bit of dirt in the tank, I think. So although it looks like it's just sitting above low, actually this tank might now be empty. Let's have a quick look inside. Yeah, that tank now looks to be empty. So yeah, it looks like it's got coolant in there, but in fact, yeah, I think that is empty. The other problem is, so basically, just gone out on track for another stint, and I noticed a knocking noise. And I thought it's just a bit of vibration, so it didn't concern me massively. I was aware of it. However, coming out of Wilson, I've gone from second gear into third gear, and the power kind of just disappeared. The revs were still building, but there was no kind of counteracting power to go with it. Not counteract, that's the wrong word. So I was just about able to coast the car back into the paddock. So at the moment we are letting it cool down, and then we're going to try and start it in a bit, because when we tried to start it a little earlier, it wouldn't turn over. So that is obviously not a good sign. But yeah, so for my regular followers, you will of course know that yesterday Monique broke down on me on the way to the MX-5 National Rally. So you have to have Mad Max do the same. So the next day is kind of a kick in the teeth, but these things happened. Track days, they do put a lot of stress on a car, and obviously when the stress gets too much, this happens. So yeah, so I was going to film yesterday actually for the MX-5 rally, but because I broke down not too long after I left my flat, it seemed pointless, although in hindsight it would have made for a potentially interesting vlog. But yeah, if you want to know what happened to Monique, basically her alternator belt snapped. So she had a brand new alternator belt fitted in June, I think, but that has snapped. Apologies if there's any wind noise, by the way. Snetterton is very open, as is any race circuit, so there's a bit of a breeze kicking up. But yeah, so Monique did have a brand new alternator belt fitted in June, but that has snapped or fallen off. So there looks to be a bigger issue potentially with the alternator, whether the whole alternator itself needs to be replaced, or whether it's a pulley or a tensioner or something. I don't know. That is currently being investigated at my local garage. So yep, so this is obviously the end of my day, but to be fair, I have had a fair amount of track time, and the time now is almost 4 o'clock, so kind of at a point where I was, that was the session I went out on, that was probably going to be my last or my penultimate session anyway. About to get run over by a 350 Z. He's not going to be able to go that way. I'm blocking the way. But yeah, so hopefully I can give you a positive update in a little bit. But for the time being, I'll let him rest, and yeah, just cross my fingers, my toes, my eyes, my arms, my legs, just anything to give me a bit of good luck. Next time on Living with a Mazda MX-5. And Patsy said, would that include, breakdown recovery from a track? And they said yes. Now, you're probably thinking that's too good to be true.